This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Houses can be fixed, trees can be replanted, but lives cannot be.
Now at 7, sifting through the damage and trying to move forward. Today marked the beginning of the recovery process for communities hit by destructive storms and tornadoes here in Indiana and to the east in Ohio. RTV6 is following the process and working to protect you this storm season. Thank you for being here with us tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins in for Rafael Sanchez. Before we get to anything else, we need to check in with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory on this Storm Team 6 alert day. Kevin.
And we've had some severe storms again today. Flooding rains have been an issue, along with some hail and strong winds, starting to squeeze the opportunity for any additional severe thunderstorms into northeast portions of the viewing area. Western half of the state threat is gone. There's one warning in effect. Northern portions of Madison County, extreme eastern portions of Tipton County. That's what's left of a line of thunderstorms that has been marching west to east across central Indiana. Alexandria up to Hartford City, southeast of Marion. That will cut through northern portions of Delaware County as well with torrential rainfall. Let's go back and follow the path of heaviest rain. We've got a flash flood warning from Rossville through Burlington, Kokomo, and Greentown. Some spots have seen over 2 inches since 4:30 this afternoon. Then you can see over Grant County, Marion, Grant City, Fowlerton, and then Hartford City, all within the flash flood warning as well. Do not drive across flooded roadways. 70 in Peru, 84 in Indy, temperatures 88 down in Louisville. For the rest of the night, at least the next hour or so, large hail and damaging wind would be the main threat from these storms, as well as some flooding rains. We'll talk about the overnight surge of additional thunderstorms. We'll do that coming up.
We'll see you soon, Kevin. Thank you. Pendleton over in Madison County was maybe the hardest hit area of all with these storms this week. A tornado destroyed homes and did a lot of damage. Large trees uprooted and tossed across yards onto houses and power lines. The sound of chainsaws throughout the streets as people begin to clean up, and crews cut down trees that fell on top of those lines. But the main focus for emergency management is to restore power. Crews are doing a good job getting streets opened up. They don't have the necessary 2 lanes of traffic opened up quite yet, but they are making progress. RTV6 spoke with people today who were here when that tornado ripped through.
We were going down into the basement, and my wife watched the tree fall as we were closing the hatch for the cellar.
We had to evacuate last night because of the gas leaks, so we actually had to leave the home, and we came back this morning, and this is what we saw.
Incredibly, there were no serious injuries, only one minor injury after the storm. We asked the Madison County Emergency Management Director why he thinks that is.
I credit it to about 3 things. Number one, the National Weather Service got warnings out. They told us all day long that severe weather was coming. Emergency management, we shared that message. And you folks, our media partners, your meteorologists, your stations got the word out that severe weather's coming. We were able to communicate that to the public, and we were able to say, hey, the storm is coming, take shelter.
After closures today, they are now allowing people who live east of Pendleton Avenue back into their homes. They're moving that perimeter back as they eliminated any potential dangers there and cleared the streets. People west of Pendleton, however, are still asked to stay away or to stay inside their homes. Several other Indiana spots are reeling today after seeing tornado activity last night, including Grant and Miami counties. The National Weather Service says an EF2 tornado touched down just before 8:15 Monday evening on the northwest side of Grant County. It was on the ground for just 6 minutes, but destroyed homes and barns in its path. In Miami County, there was heavy damage north of the town of Macy. Several homes were destroyed, but no injuries were reported. The National Weather Service says an EF1 tornado caused damage across parts of Henry County. Henry County Emergency Management Director Ron Huffman said a majority of the damage is just south of Middletown. The damage from the tornado includes mostly trees and power lines down, but the storm significantly damaged a few buildings. Again, we've heard of no one hurt. And so far, the NWS has confirmed 4 tornadoes that touched down in Indiana last night. One in Pendleton, another in Grant County, a tornado in Miami County, and one in Henry County. People in Ohio are also cleaning up today after a deadly tornado hit near Dayton. The twister tore through the town of Salina overnight. The damage is extensive across several towns and cities near Dayton. Homes and apartments were destroyed. The debris was so thick in some places, snow plows had to be used to clear it. One Ohio man whose neighborhood was hit by the storms says he's moved by how the community has come together.
Neighbor came down and asked to see if I was okay. I didn't know him more than 2 weeks ago. That's called humanity. That's a God thing again. It's people helping people. It's real simple.
Tens of thousands of people in Ohio were left without power as a result of those storms. That man we just heard from is part of a party of neighbors that has been going from door to door to check on each other. Working for you to make sure you're prepared in case someone tries to take advantage of when the worst happens. Whenever storms hit, it's almost a certainty that scammers will follow. The damage across Pendleton and other spots is extensive, so let's talk about protecting you as a consumer. You may have to file an insurance claim depending on the level of damage to your property. Do that, and at the same time, make sure to take photos and video of the damage as evidence. It never hurts to have that as part of your file. Contractors may come to your door asking to make repairs, and there's nothing wrong with that, but first, take some estimates. Any job over $150 must have a contract in writing per state law. Do not pay anything up front for that. Pay in installments as work gets done piece by piece. We continue to follow this case after new developments today. We now know human remains found in a suitcase on the southeast side are those of a man who had been missing since mid-March. The coroner and IMPD identified him as 56-year-old Larry Terry. On Monday, police responded after a suitcase with human remains inside had been found along a creek near East Raymond Street and South Keystone Avenue. A relative of Terry reported him missing on March 12th. He had been last seen at a home on English Avenue, his home, according to police. Still no word from police on the cause of death here. Today, extra police were on hand at Noblesville West Middle School following a threat. The Noblesville Superintendent's Office sent an email to parents last night saying that a social media exchange escalated into an anonymous threat made toward the school. This past Saturday, May 25th, marked 1 year since the shooting at Noblesville West that severely injured a student as well as teacher Jason Seaman, who stopped the shooter. Well, traveling can bring a lot of headaches. Damaged luggage can play a part in that. So right now, some advice for protecting your bags from damage and thieves. Experts say wrapping bags in plastic is a legit way to protect your cargo. In fact, there are companies that wrap luggage with plastic to protect it from theft, accidental opening, or weather like rain and snow. And they'll offer luggage tracking for free. Then there's luggage shipping. You ship your bag to your destination before you go. It can cost about the same as checking a bag, and there's less of a chance of wear and tear there.
You book a trip on Lugless.com, similar to how you book an airline ticket. You print out your shipping labels from our website and pack as you normally would.
The luggage is then delivered to where you're staying. With shipping, you don't necessarily have to do it through a company. You can do it yourself and use FedEx. You also have the option to track with that. If you're worried about someone getting into your bag, you should really invest in a lock. In fact, it's suggested for everyone to use bag locks, especially the TSA-approved ones. That way, TSA can still inspect a bag if they need to. No one else can get into it. As doctors around the country deal with the spread of measles, the vaccine focus has been on children. But the CDC recommends adults get multiple vaccines for diseases from tetanus to cervical cancer. Measles are the big concern right now. If you've received your 2 measles shots as a kid, you're good to go. But if you got the shot before 1968, you should talk to your doctor about how effective it was. Shingles usually hits older adults. It's a painful rash that can be spread between people. A new, more effective vaccine was just approved 2 years ago. It comes in 2 doses. There's a shortage right now. Experts recommend you try your best to get that shot. Tetanus is usually spread through cuts or wounds. Children are supposed to get a series of 5 vaccines for it. Adults need the booster every 10 years. The CDC says it's okay if you're 1 or 2 years late on that. Coming up here, the Scripps National Spelling Bee brings hundreds of people together, but these 2 ladies are even closer than their competitors. Why their story is grabbing so much attention, next.
There are no thunderstorm warnings at this time. There is one pocket of torrential rainfall east of Alexandria. Will come north of Muncie, south of Hartford City, or right in Hartford City. We'll track that to the state line and talk about what's ahead coming up.
And for your chance to win a pair of tickets.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Well, 2 sisters competing in the Scripps National Spelling Bee say they have twice the chance of being this year's champ. Kamasi Aaron is with them as they navigate the competition.
The preliminaries of the Scripps National Spelling Bee brings hundreds of spellers together. These 2 ladies are sitting rows apart, but in many ways, the 2 are closer than their competitors. They are one of 9 sets of siblings competing in this year's bee.
It's like I can hear my heartbeat and I can literally feel it.
We waited with their mom after the test.
How did you guys? Drama meaning and wonder.
Okay, thank you. To find out how they did.
Wait, I have my test right here.
And what it's like to be competing with your sister in the B.
I mean, it's pretty cool that like we're both here.
Last year, Triyatha Jamula watched her sister Prananthi come in 25th place in the National B, and she wanted to compete too. This year, the sisters tied in their school spelling bee, both earning a trip to nationals. It gave Prananthi a built-in study buddy.
Like before, when it would just be me studying at home and my sister would be out somewhere doing something else, like it wouldn't be that motivating to study because I know like I'd rather be where she is. And now that we're both in a room studying, it like makes it easier to study, I guess.
And Triyatha got an expert on what to expect.
Yeah, she definitely helps me like stay calm and composed, and like gives me a few tips on like languages and language patterns.
Their mom says it's easier with two spellers in the house instead of one.
They quiz each other. That's how they are learning too. Now we are all on the same page, right? So everybody is working towards spelling bee. So that makes easy.
And she says what matters most here is the girls' experience.
Out of all these students, only one can be a winner, right? Not everybody, and everybody work towards that goal. So it's ultimately the journey. It matters the most.
Spelling sisters on a journey together. I'm Kumasi Aaron reporting.
All year long, they prepare. These spellers study word origins, which help determine patterns in spelling and grammar. Spellers also study definitions and alternate definitions. The students also learn a word's pronunciation, plus parts of speech like nouns, verbs, and adjectives. They learn about root words and how words are used in different sentences. 16 kids from Indiana made it to the National Spelling Bee, including 2 from IPS schools. We'll be keeping you updated on the progress. The finals air on ESPN2 and ESPN on Thursday. Time now for your Storm Team 6 forecast, and this has been a busy couple of days, from navigating how the weather was going to affect the race to last night's storms.
And this evening's storms, they're winding down, but then tomorrow, another severe threat. It's one of these unusual situations. Usually you have a line of strong to severe storms. It changes everything.
Right.
And you move on. In this case, no. Okay, let me just show you a few of the dramatic pictures from yesterday. These happen to be from Grant County. Can you imagine, just like David McQueen looking out his window through the shades there to see that tornado, an EF2. There's another kind of clearer view of the tornado in Grant County. This was northwest of Marion, around Jalapa. Here's another view of a Grant County tornado. In all, there have been 4 that have been confirmed so far. I don't think the surveys are over. They'll be out again during the day tomorrow. We're squeezing what's left of the thunderstorm watch to the north and east as the thunderstorm's really winding down now. Hartford City to Muncie, the most intense portion of the line of thunderstorms with heavy rainfall. Look at all the lightning too. You see Hartford City and now you don't. Loud storm, torrential rainfall, Hartford City to east of Alexandria, and then the northern portion of Delaware County. I've broadened the view, but everywhere in red, from southeast of Delphi, north of Frankfort, east through Kokomo, through Marion and Hartford City, there is a flash flood warning as a result then of heavy rainfall through the afternoon and evening hours, and that goes on already saturated ground from yesterday. Be especially careful. You know where high water forms quickly in your community. Don't try and drive across a flooded roadway. 67 in Tipton, 74 in Muncie. The warmth has been to the south where you've not had as much cloud cover and certainly no rain. Most of the state has been dry. Tomorrow, we expand the slight risk to include the entire RTV6 viewing area. Slight risk of damaging wind and large hail being the main threats. Overnight, pretty dry. Thunderstorms 7 to 10 a.m. tomorrow. A few of these may be strong. That moves on. Still some lingering storms develop in the afternoon with that isolated severe threat. There are the temperatures in the low 80s for an afternoon high. From north to south, temperatures should consistently be at 80 or above. Now, we may slow the warming trend as a result of the rain and cloud cover early in the day. As you look at the 7-day forecast, the mornings in the 50s, that'll be comfortable. We'll back off the 80s tomorrow and emerge into the 70s Thursday and Friday. And temperatures as we go into the weekend, middle to upper 70s for highs. The best chance of rain over the weekend will be Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, a realistic shot at all 3 days being dry.
I think a lot of people looking forward to that weekend.
So am I.
All right. Thank you, Kevin, for that. Hey, coming up in our Hiring Hoosiers report, the jobs are there, the pay is good. Now they just need you to apply. Our Jobs of the Week. That's next. But first, this week is all about the best of tech in Indiana. How one student is working to make sure everyone can land a job, and a high-tech job is that. Ahead in our nightly Hiring Hoosiers report, only on RTV6.
fujitsu.com.
RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers is our passion. We're committed to bringing you stories about jobs and opportunities so you can be successful. This week, we're focusing on the best of technology in our state, and that can require some new skills to be learned, but also barriers that employees may have to overcome to land the job. Our Rafael Sanchez has a look at the Purdue student working to make sure everyone can land a high-tech job.
Do that gesture, it'll turn on this laser pointers.
No limitations in this lab.
This one gives you touch sensations.
Ting Zheng is in touch with finding new ways to remove obstacles to the workplace.
This will make a difference for people with disabilities.
Haptimage is behind the technology, which includes a controller and software. It will allow people with visual impairments to recognize what's on the screen and let them pursue careers, whether in a forensics lab, architecture, or social media.
We can use this to help blind people actually, so they can feel this, like you see this as a red blood cell.
It's this kind of testing and thinking that's expected to change how people with disabilities will be able to pursue their careers.
Unemployment of people with disabilities is a very difficult problem. There's a lot of factors involved, and we're really focusing on giving them the tools to be successful.
We have about 10 of these different things that we've iterated through. And
Shruti Suresh is also focused on removing barriers. She's working on devices to help people with limited use of their hands.
I think it's euphoric to know that something works from a technological point of view as well as from an impact point of view. So it's pretty amazing. The main thing we're trying to do is improve their quality of life. And by improving their quality of life, we want to give them opportunities to pursue things that they may or may not have had access to in the past.
Well, the lab has worked with the Indiana and Texas schools of the blind and visually impaired to test their products. For more information, find this story at our website at hiringhoosiers.com. We're always on the hunt for the open positions that could better your life. Rafael is back with a closer look there.
So many job choices out there. Let's find the perfect one just for you. Anna Pentenberg with Surion Staffing is here to join us for the jobs of the week. Anna, let's get to work.
All right. We're going to get started with a facilities coordinator. This is a position located near Keystone and 82nd Street. This is a Monday through Friday position, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at $18 an hour. Administrative experience is preferred. You'd be helping grant building access, answer calls, and coordinate meetings.
Let's head out to the airport. And this one, you're looking for weekend-only forklift operators.
Yes, just Saturday and Sunday. We've got a couple shifts. We've got 6 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at $14 an hour and 5 p.m. to 3:30 a.m. at $14.50 an hour. Sit-down forklift experience is required. We can get you started almost immediately.
Let's head over to Hamilton County. This is a production associate.
Yes, this is a Monday through Friday position, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at $12 an hour. This is for a candle company helping clean jars, apply labels, and package and inspect the product. Stable job history is required, and being bilingual is definitely a plus.
I want to know more about this one. This is in Boone County. This is a material handler.
Yes, you'd be helping lift, sort, and stack some product for a shift that is Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from midnight to 8:30 a.m. This is $14.50 an hour, and a team player attitude is definitely preferred.
We are in a tight labor market. If someone comes to you and says, look, I saw the jobs of the week, I like that one in particular, but I need $1 more. Is that negotiable? Can I ask for more money when I come visit you?
If you've got the experience and the skills, we can absolutely negotiate that. There's no doubt about it.
So keep that in mind.
Yep, absolutely.
How do we get a hold of you?
You can call or text us at our phone number at 317-870-5555. Or you can check out our jobs posted at Spherion.com.
Of course, all of the jobs of the week are on our website, hiringhoosiers.com, and these are the jobs of the week.
Still ahead here, Hiring Hoosiers is our way of helping Indiana's labor force excel, and there's reason to celebrate a bit tonight. The upward movement when it comes to Indiana's workforce. Next.
At Zaxby's.
It is good news right now, and RTV6 is hiring Hoosiers. The state says Indiana's labor force grew again last month, continuing a record streak of improvement. The Indiana Department of Workforce Development says our labor force now stands at nearly 3.5 million. That counts both those who have a job and those who are actively searching for one. Year over year, over 37,000 more Hoosiers have joined the labor force since April of 2018. Indiana's unemployment rate in April stayed the same from March at 3.6%.
Rain and lots of it in Howard County, Blackford County, Hartford City area, creating some flooding issues. We're seeing the rain wind down, but I think the flooding will linger. Street flooding, a big issue. Don't cross flooded roadway.
All right, you can always use the Storm Shield app as well and the RTV6 app for updates. We'll see you back here tonight at 11. Have a good evening.